let me conclude and first to say that all of these groups did a wonderful job, so let's give ourselves a round of applause. In one of the videos of the program, we have an alum on the job saying that his job is like an endless string of workshop projects, one after another, which I've always thought of as really what the point of the workshop is. I mean, the workshop is really, particularly this workshop, I mean, all of them in the summer and the fall were to prepare you for these projects which are in the real world. And you could see, we didn't provide you with the output, you had to design them yourselves in consultation with the clients. The faculty were not the clients. People who have these jobs and responsibilities are the clients, and sometimes they change their mind, and sometimes you learned that even they're not in control of the project because they have to answer to their boss, who then has to answer to the governor. And so there are, in fact, constraints on what we can do. And how you do this kind of work is constrained by the real world of politics and economics that surrounds what we do. But that, in fact, the profession that you're entering enables you to use the tools you've learned. And I want you to be self-conscious about what those tools were. Now think about when we started, even this semester, you had a one-page description of a problem that the faculty advisor and the client worked out. It was vague. It was hard to figure out. You had to fill in and actually create operational meaning to the question. You had to turn that question into something that could be answered like this. These are not simple things to do, but it's a process. There's a mental model you should have about how you go from this vague statement of problem to a specific piece of actionable analysis. Now, how did you do it? Well, you made trade-offs. You looked for data. You talked to people who knew more than you did. And you worked in a group. You worked together. Some of you had better data analytics skills. Some of you are better at interviewing. Some of you are better at writing. Some of you are better at meeting a deadline and showing up to class on time. There are a variety of skills you have. Some of you are really good at drinking coffee, I've noticed. And all of you seem to be very good at opening up your computer during class and talking to somebody in a different state. But in any event, everybody has a different set of skills that brings to bear on problem solving. This is really what's very important. And the pace moves very quickly. The problems themselves keep changing. And even the political environment. When you started this program, the President of the United States was Barack Obama. Today we have somebody else. The world changes, the political situation changes, the environment changes, but what doesn't change is the real world that sits out there, the scientific facts that we deal with, the desire of people to live in health and to have their children and family live in health. And that's what we're working on. That's what we work on. It's a set of universal values all over the world. So you need to think about your workshop experience, and I say this a lot, not just as, oh, I worked on energy efficiency, oh, I worked on water. You worked on learning how to go from a general problem statement to an actionable set of analyses that you could actually then give to a decision maker where something could happen. There's a lot of policy work that's about ideology and people's preferences, and what I like about what I saw today is every one of these projects ended up, here's what we can do. Here are the actions that can follow. And this is extremely important if we're going to make this transition to a sustainable world. So I want to thank you for your high quality work. I also want to thank you all for your dedication to this particular field and this issue. It's really very important. I mean, a lot of us put a lot of time and effort into this, not just because we want to get ahead professionally, although we do, but also because we think this is the most important work you could do. And I think saving the world is a pretty important thing to do. So you should thank yourself and thank each other. And you've got another week or so, I know, of exams and things like that to finish. And then there'll be graduation. I understand we're going to have a graduation brunch this year because SEPA scheduled graduation, the class day ceremony for the afternoon. It used to be in the morning, so we'll have, I don't know, what is it, a 2-hour brunch or something like that? Yeah, and we're going to serve champagne. Yeah, okay, so by the time you get to March, we'll see whether you can still stand. Anyway, thank you again. It's been a great year, and I'm looking forward to commencement.